bit of a pot boiler coming up now. Line and wash. I've got stick, bit of pine root liberated from Fort DeSoto on our trip to Florida. Some black waterproof ink. It must be waterproof ink. I've been asked if you can use paint. You can't, because once you start washing over it, it'll just come up. And the whole purpose of this is to get a stark black on white drawing, which is modified by the washes that go on afterwards. So winter scene, so some trees. I'll probably end up using the rigger, but when these sticks get saturated with ink, dried ink, being acrylic, it forms a coating over the end, and the stick loses its porosity, but like that. But some of this, the wood on this at the end is a little bit fluffy now, which is good because it gives a chance for shading. Now remember, when you're doing these trees, you need plenty of base to them. So ivy. This is great fun, takes a bit of time. Let's get some strength up here. Wiggly. And let's just get some coming down as well as going up. Remember, this is ivy covered as well. You can use a bit of sandpaper and rough these sticks up, get the acrylic off and start with bare wood again. That's probably what I should have done. Okay, well that's fun. I'll put some complementary trees. You don't have to have a bank of the same trees, just vary. I'll use a rigger on some of this when I get fed up with persevering with this. But it just goes to show you can draw with anything you can pick up. Hedgerows, just walking along. Ice lolly sticks, matchsticks, anything. Okay, so there's one tree there. We'll just have another one. Bit of silence here. So we'll have a bit of a hill coming down. When you do fences, just put bits of the fence in, don't do the whole lot. Just put it up there. doing the left hand side because being right handed, when I do this side, if it was the other way around, I'd be putting my hand in the ink, which is not a good idea. Okay, a bit thick there. Okay, let's get going. A bit of grass. Very unpredictable. I'm just playing around with the ink. Actually, I've just will. Now you want one side dominant, one side subordinate. Otherwise you're just repeating on one side what you've done on the other. This is going to be the sort of a snow scene of the Surrey Hills again. It's a great time of the year in UK for seeing ivy on trees. Some of them are covered in it and it makes wonderful painting subjects. Now I'm not sure about ivy on trees. I believe that it just uses the tree for support. It doesn't suck the life out of the tree itself, because most of these, all the trees I see with ivy on are quite healthy specimens. Now, if you know any different, you can no doubt let me know, but oak trees in the UK landscape, I say UK, but I really am talking about my Surrey. Okay, so that's a good strong tree there. There's more in here. So it's very similar to what I've done before, but they seem to be quite popular, these line and wash. Right, got my swig of tea. I want to paint a couple of figures on this. On this track. Before you paint on these, you really need to make sure that the ink is completely dry, otherwise it will run into your painting. I'll just put a bit of bush there. Right, we've got some nice oops. See, a bit unpredictable with this way of painting, drawing. Okay, let's just put in some shading here. I'll do more painting with the rigger. Okay. So we'll have some hills in the background in blue. Let's continue this. And a bit of rigger work in there. Don't know what I'm doing there. No rules, just do it. Get some dark shadow in there. Fill that in a bit. Right, well that I think will do. I'll just dry that off thoroughly, I hope. Right, so take your headphones off if you're listening on headphones. You can also mix some, I'm sure, some black acrylic paint from your tubes if you use it. That is the same stuff really. I haven't tried it, I'll try it next time. Plenty of black. Well, in fact you could do it with any colour, acrylic colour. But provided when you paint over it, the thing is dry, and even I make the mistake of not drying it thoroughly enough. Now, because I've got quite a bit of black on, I can use quite a bit of strong colour in there on some really nice warms. That's why I like burnt sienna so much. It's a lovely dark red. Right, okay, let's... I'm still a bit suspect, so I'm going to carry on with this a moment longer. quite topical now, snow. We've had a lot of snow in northern England and Scotland. I did a snow picture earlier, not a particularly good one. Right, let's see how we get on with this and hope that the ink has... No, look. Okay, well, by the time I've painted over that, it'll... Hoisted by his own petard. Look. Well, that'll go as cloud, won't it now? Right, so burnt sienna in the sky. Bit of alizarin, why not? Let's get some nice warm sky. Bit of alizarin with that sienna, a bit of Payne's grey. And then a bit darker in there. Mix all those colours together now to get a really nice warm. Right, okay, that seems to be. Now we'll see what happens to that sky. A bit streaky, but there's movement in the sky. And now we'll just reclip the paper. This paper is the Fabriana £130 from Granthams. I've just ordered another block of 100 sheets for, it's £31 plus postage, but if you buy several, 2 or 3 tubes of paint, it takes it over the £40 threshold and the postage is free. That's in the UK anyway. Right, let's put in a bit of a background there then. Same colours as the sky. Just all those, look, just... But I don't want them too heavy. So it's just Surrey Hills coming over here. A bit stronger than that, I think. Put in some bit of sienna in there. That's raw sienna, should I say? Okay, so a bit of shadow in there, and that snow. Okay, nothing more than that at this stage. A little bit of colour on the snow. Painting in the direction of the slope. Okay, soften that a little bit, don't want to hard edge there. Right, we'll see what happens to that track there. Right, reclip again. See, the painting is quite simple once you've got your drawing in. We'll drop in some distant trees, Payne's grey, just to use the same colours. A bit of blue in there as well. Just a bit harder. with some warmer stuff in here. Some darker bits in there. Although it's a bleed, so hopefully it still looks distant. Right, I'm going to give that a bit of a dry now, so take your headphones off. Now we're going to go for warm colour green. I'm going to use a round brush for that. There's no reason you have to use a particular brush, but we are demonstrating the hake. But sometimes it's good to use different material, different tools. No, nice rich. See that has the effect of toning down the black. So here we're going some ivy in there, silhouetted. Now we'll put in a bit of distance behind that tree, a bit of blue and alizarin. And oh, we might not have done that. But this, the idea of that was to show some painting, some foliage going on behind the main warm foliage at the front, but there's got a bit of alizarin. I'll try on the other side. So I'll put that in first. So we'll that in and let that dry a little bit. That's a bit better. Now just get some warm in here. I've got a bit of green. I just mix a bit of grey, yellow and sienna. Now there's just this bit of green here. Get that colour in there. And we'll get the sienna on there. Bit of grey, I think. Mixed in with the sienna. Be careful when you do this. You want just hit the high spots. Then I can put some rigger work in there. That's a bit stunted. So let's get some over here a little bit. Let's change the shape of it a little bit. Okay, so we've got something going on in there. So we'll put in some green in there on these shrubby see, it just kills the contrast a bit, which is lovely. So get some darker stuff in there. Now, I don't use the round brushes very often, but it does add another dimension to the looks of the thing. Let's just put some more dark in there. I can put some shadow behind this. Okay, now we've got to decide where the light's coming from. It's more or less coming straight at us, so that will give us some scope to put in some bit of red and blue. So we just put those in. Follow the shape of the ground. So the light coming from that way. Long shadows. Got to do some more detail on there, and we'll put some under these trees here. Show a bit of the white of the snow. See, the shadows give form to the ground. You can put some shadows coming down here across the undulations in the path or the track, and then we'll do some more. That needs to be a bit darker there. Right, we seem to have a bit of a painting there, don't we? I'll finish my tea. Ah, it's cold. Nothing worse than cold tea. I need to do a little bit more to balance that on this side. I shouldn't have done that one really. I've repeated myself, but not for the first time. Right, let's do a figure in there. The figure will give scale, hopefully. So I'll use a slightly bigger round brush. It's number 6, so put in a big. I dried off, hold on. Okay. Right, dark. So a bit of a shoulder here. Right, he's okay, he's probably a little bit small, but he's in the snow about 6 inches, so that will help. Right, let's put a bit of greeny, sienna-y foliage in by the fence. Okay, well that's about all I'm going to do, apart from a bit of wiggle work in the branches here. So I'll use burnt sienna and blue. So I'll just strengthen up. It's my favourite dark, the ultramarine and sienna. You can use sienna and Payne's grey, but it changes the grey from a cold colour to a warm dark. So just get some of this coming up here. Tangle of branches and trunks and things. All very simple, all very quick. The longest part of this was the drawing. Now, good dark. Do you need quite a bit of water on the rigger? Right, that's that side taken care of. Let's do the other side. I think we'll put some blue, a bit of alizarin, in the background here. I've done that too dark, but anyway. Right, signature on there, and a bit of work on the other side on the slide. We'll have it buoyed. Right, I'm not going to do any more than that. I'll end up making it worse. Okay, let's have a look at it in the frame. Right, flatten it up against that. Well, there we are. A line and wash, snow scene, Surrey Hills. impression. That's all it is. Let's bring you round so you can actually see it more square on. Oh, there we are. Let's come into it. Oops. Go from that side. So it's very simple trees. Background, a couple of planes in the background. Planes, I mean aeroplanes. I mean a plane there and a plane here. So that's 2 planes, and then you've got this mid-distance, that's 3 planes. Then you've got this plane here, and then you've got this foreground. Figure could have been just a touch bigger, but I'm not too displeased now. I'm quite happy with that clump of oak trees without the leaves. We're just showing the branches, and foreground just hedges, bushes, gorse, whatever you see. Probably overdone, but have a go at this sort of thing. I made this up. It's very easy to do when you've done some of them, and don't be frightened to use the ink, and if you muck up your paper you can always use it for an acrylic. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.